This is the stuff that most people never talk about because they either don't know it or they don't care about it. But you cannot be a normal man anymore in this life. Being an average guy no longer cuts it. It's not possible to be an average guy and to actually have a good life. It used to be possible, yes, absolutely. You could be an average guy, a normal man that has a normal job. You could have a minimum wage job and you could be able to provide for your family, right? You could buy a house, you could provide for your family, you would have a normal wife, a wife that loves you, you could get children, you could have a normal, decent life, you could be happy, you would be fine, right? Things have changed. If you are a normal guy right now, you have a normal job or you have a minimum wage job, you cannot provide for a family anymore. You cannot even provide for yourself, right? You cannot buy a house. You can probably not even afford the bills of a shitty apartment anymore. More and more young guys are just living in their parents' house in their mid-20s, their late 20s, even into their 30s. The dating market has been globalized by social media and dating apps. So now what happens? Hypergamy is being accentuated. Women get tricked into thinking that they can get attention from Chad, and so they lose their interest in average guys. If you are an average guy with average looks, maybe even below average looks, and you have a minimum wage job, you work at McDonald's, and you live in either a shitty apartment or your parents' basement, it's going to be incredibly hard for you to just find a normal girl, right? We're not talking about supermodels here, just a normal average girl. If you are a 6 out of 10, finding a 6 out of 10 girl is going to be incredibly fucking hard for you. In the past, that was quite normal, but now, not anymore. So you're probably just going to live your life alone. You'll work your shitty job that's going to make you depressed. Then you come home in either your shitty apartment or your parents' basement. And then you sit there being sad by yourself in your room. You'll play some video games, you'll fap to some porn, you'll cry yourself to sleep, and then you wake up and the cycle repeats, right? This is your life. This is unironically, this is not a joke, this is not an exaggeration, this is what the life of a relatively normal young man looks like right now. And it's only going to get worse. This is going to become more and more and more normal. People seem to not understand this for some reason, especially people from the older generation and women, but people in general, they do not understand what is going on in the world right now, and they say things like, what's wrong with being normal? Well, you don't have to be exceptional. Isn't it fine to be normal? Well, this is the thing, people. Yes, it used to be fine to be normal when being normal still meant that you could actually have a normal job, a house, a loving wife, and actually be happy. Yes, then it was fine to be normal. But the world no longer works that way. If you are an average guy, you have average looks, you are a 6 out of 10, and you have a minimum wage job, you are going to have an incredibly hard, near to impossible time to get a house and to get a loving partner in life. It's going to be ridiculously hard. Despite the fact that you are normal, aren't you? You're a normal guy with average looks. You have a normal job. There's 2 things you can do. You can continue to be sad and miserable and be normal because people tell you, older people and women tell you, but it's okay to be normal, just be normal like everyone else. Or you can set goals for yourself, start working on yourself, and choose to rise above normal. You can say, fuck you, everyone. I am going to become better than normal. I don't want to be normal anymore. These are the 2 choices that you have. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not trying to say that the only way that we will ever become happy is if we are all millionaires with the bodies like bodybuilders, or we all turn into Andrew Tate or something. You don't have to be insanely rich. You don't have to be insanely ripped. But you have to realize that just being normal, like everyone else is, doesn't cut it anymore. You cannot just have an average skinny fat body, work your minimum wage job, and then come home and play some video games and watch some Netflix. If you continue to live your life like that, you are probably going to remain alone and miserable for the rest of your life. You are going to have to get off your ass and actually start doing something. You are going to have to spend some time with your own mind thinking about what it really is that you want out of life. You're going to have to set some goals for yourself, and you are going to have to actually start working towards them. Start improving yourself.